50-minute delay. I just got off at the nick of time where it said an hour and 44 minutes to get home. It's something about, I don't know, it just seems like there's more delays than I've ever seen before. Even when I'm leaving at, like a normal time, leaving work a little bit early, and it just seems like there's delays everywhere. Non-stop delay. Yesterday, coming back from Beersheba, yeah, I was a little irritated. I let it get the best of me because it's like you get trapped in a direction and all you see is just this. That's it. You just see all of that. And I think, I wonder if it's because of me just driving by. I mean, but then that would be me being selfish, thinking everything, like the world revolves around me just because I'm driving by and there's stall tactics. But it does seem unusual. Because normally, I get Robin speaks his mind all the time. When does he just shut up? I don't have much time in the day, and I know I did it to myself, so there's some frustration on that end just because I always just seem to come across gang stall kings, even like that person, that terrorist driving the dirt bike and almost hit my mirror, acting like he's gonna hit my mirror. I always seem to come across these people and they're possessed by the devil. Now, they don't know that they have no idea what's coming for them either, because they don't pay attention. And even some of you that do pay attention, wow, dude was schizo. Even those of you that do pay attention, you still may not get it. My brother told me today, just some story about, I always look at it like this. When people tell stories, they just may be told to tell a story. So I always look at it that way. Not that I get mad at my brother for what he's doing or anything. What does he know? It's just that people may say things because it's communicated to you. Just like when John Teclec was talking about his windows getting busted out in his truck, and then my brother was talking about something today where somebody, the windows kept getting busted out like 10 times. I'm like, yeah, I know it's coming, I get it. In other words, I get it. The message has already been clearly communicated to me if you're unaware of it. So what I'm going to do is, considering my wife drove over a half of a rim that was placed right at her work. That way, when she drove over it, I mean, it was like a half of a rim cracked in half round ways, and in half top to bottom, side to side, top to bottom. It could have done a lot of damage. And I don't know, maybe that's her gang stalker. Maybe she has a specific one for her. I have a specific one for me. Which is just everybody that's tapped in at the moment. Wherever I go, they're tapped in. They can, but I also think, well, let's see. Satan, at the end, Lucifer's the one. He's the one that created the spirit of Satan, because that's what works in the children that are being disobedient. But in the end, Lucifer, well, he sets the music to worship God. It may have been taken and interpreted the wrong way from before, but the way I'm interpreting it is going into the art museum and taking that footage and just displaying it out in the open. Nobody on this, like, there's nobody. Look, just look how slow he's moving. Just slowly moving. It's a way of learning how to be patient in Satan's world. Because I don't really understand all of it. I don't understand how people get caught up in it. I don't understand how you get communicated in your ear, or probably just in your head alone, to do a tactic it really is pointless. There's no point in it. Besides, Satan just wants to make sure that you're going to continually worship him. And that's the whole point. So I've learned not to get mad at them, because forgive them, Father. They do not know what they're doing. And is it even a person anymore, or is it just a program? Let's say Satan's my good buddy. And he's learned to respect, whoever, Lucifer. Not Satan. Let's just go with Lucifer, because Lucifer is the one that created the spirit of Satan. Let's say that Lucifer is now my good friend. And he used to do so many, it's programmed to do tactics against me. Everybody's controlled, they're programmed to do and say the certain things that they do. But towards the end, because that's where we're at, Lucifer finds a tremendous amount of respect for the person that he has used as his punching bag, in order to get the frustration out, in order to test me with things, tempt me with stuff, with anger. So right now, I'm just being put through the test. Right now, it's that feeling of being neglected and attacked, and it's like from family itself, like the YouTube family, when they turned on me, sort of like that. But my job is to come back to the same people after I find out who the Gentiles are. The Gentiles. And then I find them, and then I use them. I forget what Scripture says I'm supposed to do. I'm just doing what I feel like I need to do in spirit. Can you imagine if someone wrote a book about you and you didn't even know it? And then your whole entire life is a movie that was scripted out. So when they wrote a book, they made a movie about you. So can you imagine if they did that to you, whoever's watching, and then they'll use it against you because you don't even know that there's a book written about you, because it's your life. You never thought that you were anything special. And but everywhere you go, everybody else seems to think that you're special. Not in a very positive way either, just in a very negative way. None of these people on this planet that are driving around me at this exact moment, none of them know anything that's going on Earth. They all may think that things are funny, like, yikes, an earthquake. I must almost got sideswiped. Yeah, he just gave me the finger about 5 times within the 5 minutes. I'm just looking around, people getting really, really close. Now, am I right? Was that guy, did he, look, there's another one right there. Good one. Good tactic, buddy. I had to give him a thumbs up on that one. He comes running out because he was communicated to just just do that. Ah, man, and sometimes that's where it's funny. That's where Lucifer cracks me up. Other times it's not so funny. You know, when it becomes dangerous, it's like, man, this is real, man. These people are just demonically possessed. They're looking to cause damage, hurt, pain, suffering. I don't know when it stops, but it's coming to an end point soon. Maybe it's when my last breath is when it stops for me. And I'm thinking I'm going to do something on Earth while I'm here. Maybe I don't even make it. Because people don't like me. But I'm not afraid of death. And I truly know where I'm going the moment I die. I'm going home. But I'm not going to leave this place the way it is. I'll just work at it like how Jonathan Kleck does it right now. I believe he's in heaven communicating these things with other beings from heaven. And at first I thought he was the devil. Well, maybe he is. I mean, if you're Lucifer, didn't you come from heaven anyway? Didn't you come down? You know, if that was the case. Nazareth. Yeah, so my mom's back in the hospital. With the Nazareth hospital. She's having trouble with the stroke. It's only gonna be downhill from here, like how Stephen James told me. It's the beginning of sorrows for me. Get, officer. I just don't like the way it's said, because it's said in like an evil way, with rubbing your hands up against each other, like Robin, I'm so excited to see it. But that's why when people act, they can be acting as if they're really a real big D-bag. And then, but they're really not, because they're just acting. And then the ones that are so fake, pretending to be kind people and nice and for your side, they're really the ones that are evil, and it's just a facade. Their heart has not changed. So there's the differences over here on this YouTube platform. The Illuminati, you guys are just you're the best actors. It's like even the book of Acts. And I'm well aware that it's not an easy road when you're taking on the whole Satan's kingdom, because I'm in his earth. Speaking of Satan, I am down here on his planet, but God's the one that owns everything, because God is what. Well, when Satan does his thing and works through the children that are disobedient, he's going to use everybody against me until his time is completely up, and it's time for him to go back to spirit. The top tier people already have turned and repented. They're not going to tell their employees. That's my job to tell you that happened, and then it's my job to show everybody, because the people that know who Jonathan Kleck is behind the scenes, even his own twin brother, even his own twin, whoever that may be, whoever knows who Jonathan Kleck is somebody I've been paying attention to for the past 4 years, nonstop. The most important information I've gotten from YouTube has come from him. It started with, I didn't like his attitude. I didn't like it. I was so irritated at it. But I'm sure people didn't like my attitude either in the beginning, because I was just this cocky fat kid coming in thinking that I know stuff, even though I did know stuff, but the agents behind the scenes didn't understand how I even knew anything. And, well, neither did I. But I knew at some point God was going to take over and end this nonsense. And I think they hated it because they knew, they're like, what are you talking about? Satan's our God. We know who our God is. I don't even know what your God doesn't even exist. You're believing in something that's unseen, Robin. You don't even know what you're talking about. All right, well, fast forward 6 years later, I go into the Philadelphia Art Museum. You either see it or you don't. And for those of you that see it, and I'm going to keep showing it, over and over and over, repetitively, I'm talking to you. You now see it. All right, you didn't believe it before. You didn't believe really anything that I was doing was going to be effective. But now you're looking at it, and I'm telling you that I don't hold any hard feelings against you. I don't like being attacked. I don't like being gang stalked. I prefer to be left alone, but I know that that's not realistic. And it's the most important thing I've ever done in my life. Because what that shows is there's another realm of existence that I didn't believe it either. I didn't even believe in it. I didn't believe in any kind of supernatural time travel. And then again, some of you may even know how that happened. Jonathan Kleck absolutely knows exactly how it happened, because it's because of his guidance that led me into that art museum, paying attention to him all these years, and then I finally went in this year, and it happened to be on my wife's birthday, and I already went over all that earlier with the seventh song, the seventh psalm, just to encourage Jonathan Kleck with the psalms that are being played at the art museum and the footage, the identical match. And then I even went to the point where I'm not satisfied with just showing you the similarity on the song that I'm playing. I want to go back to the song that I fast forwarded from and show you the similarity on the song that, if I would have continued to play it in the art museum, how that still lines up. That part right there takes another level of a dimension of time, proving that the moment that I am wherever I was at that exact timeline between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, between the X app, pushing record, pausing it, unpausing it, and I feel like I'm playing Frogger, but in a car, dodgeball. For that half hour of time, even the time that I pushed pause, whatever I was doing would have lined up. If I would have just kept, I wasn't trying to waste time is what it was, so I pushed pause a few times. If I would have not pushed pause and just walked straight through, it would have still lined up. Considering the fact that I pushed pause a couple times and it still lined up, proves that it would have continued to line up even if I didn't, because when I push pause, or when I fast forwarded a song and then the next song lines up with the imagery, as I go back to the song that I fast forwarded from, I'm showing that still lines up with me as well, with just whatever it is that I'm walking and showing in the art museum. It's the most important thing that can be done to prove God's existence, and to just really put a nail in the coffin of everybody behind the scenes that knows who Jonathan Kleck is. And you can see what's going on. You can see it. A lot of people have already seen it, and I'm just finally realizing it and seeing it for the first time in my memory, because I don't think I was ever born before. I think I was a firstborn. I think this is the first time I was born. I can't say the same about everybody else on this earth being elders and older than me, but with me being the firstborn, you would think, well, that means you're the older brother then. Well, no, this is the first time I was born. That would make me the youngest. That would make me the last. Although I'm the first born, because there's people that have been born already, and they're back, and they skull and boned it. And they're back in another meat suit. Is it an actual meat suit, or is it just a rubber suit? And the rubber suit, because my theory could be wrong. Maybe they don't reskin people who die. Like, say a 80-year-old woman dies. She agrees to the skull and bone. A 20-year-old woman dies at the same time. Same height, same, structure. The skull and bone system strips you down to your bare bones. I don't know how it works, but... And then they skin and reskin you and then sew you up. Probably at your head, maybe. I don't know. They slide you in there, like self-leveling. And then everything attaches as it settles. The blood just attaches to the bones, and then you start to feel the sensations, and then they wake you up, because it's about the mind keeping you unconscious. Maybe they don't do that at all. Maybe it's when they die, they just get into it's a flesh feeling. It feels like flesh, but it's really just a rubber suit of skin. Like Shaggy. Scooby. Mary Jane's a man in a mask. Mary Jane's a man in a mask. Mary Jane isn't a man in a mask. And then going back to that man in the mask thing, going back to men changing over to females. Well, or transgender. Did God make you that way? Did God, Satan of the world, was it his sick, twisted, demented mind was to take, knowing that it's a male spirit, or knowing that knowing that you're a female, a feminine spirit, knowing that, and then putting you in a man's body, because Satan owns the flesh. Satan's the one that created the flesh bags. So did he, as a creation, knowing that you're a feminine spirit that God created, the soul, knowing that you're a soul, but then traps you into the exact opposite body? That way, all your life, you're a female, but you don't like the fact that you look like a dude. So you transform into the female. Or are you voluntarily doing that, where it's not like you're really gay or anything. It's just you become gay because you'll do anything to just get whatever it is that you want in this world. So originally you're not gay, but then you become gay because you'll do anything for money or power or whatever. So being trapped in bodies. I mean, what if I found out myself that I'm actually a female in the Matrix, but my body, my avatar is a male. So technically it's like male, female, because not that I feel feminine whatsoever, but I understand the women. So I have a closer relationship with the feminine spirit. You know, even my wife for the past 14 years, and then I was dealing with my kid's mom for this like 7 years before that. Right around the same time she was being tormented by someone named Ray, I was being tormented by someone named Doris. And then Denise came along. But in between there was Dora. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. And Dora was someone who was rich. And it was in between, right before I started to be with my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, back in 2008, 2009. Because of my friend who, Sean, and his wife, Chrissy, I was doing work on their house. And so the door, I mean, it's not like, you know, it's attractive or whatever, but I sensed that she was batshit crazy. And I just got away from a batshit crazy relationship. And then, so I didn't even want to go in that direction. But she made plenty of damn good money, and I'm sure she could have been my sugar mama. But I'd rather just work for a living and not do that, not rely on that. Because you're not gonna control me with it. Earning the money, it's a different story. Drawing a picture of Jonathan Kleck with a dead sheep behind his ear and the serpent eating Johnny, well, that's exactly what the Vatican is. It's a serpent eating dead sheep. A dead sheep is someone who was slain. So when Jonathan Kleck said, I bet you Alex is going to draw a picture of him, I bet you $1 million. Well, wait a minute. So if he doesn't draw a picture of you, you owe whoever you bet $1 million? How about the person that drew the picture of you? Shouldn't you give him $1 million? And then if he doesn't draw a picture, you give whoever you said, I bet you $1 million that Robin's going to draw a picture of me. Then if I don't draw a picture of you, you're going to have to give that guy $1 million. It's basically like, you already know I'm going to draw a picture of you. So you already know that you're not going to have to give up that $1 million. But isn't it fair to give it to the person that did the drawing of you and explain why he did the drawing of you? Because it's your face implanted at the art museum. That I drew that picture of you back, I don't know, 2 years ago or so. And then I go into the art museum, and then Bono, I meet Bono there, and it's like Lucifer setting the stage for the worship music of God. It all started with Jonathan Kleck. That's why I never left his side. Gene Rebel comes against him every day. It's his job to do that. It may be his twin brother. It could be Stephen James, I'm pretty sure. But the amount of videos made against somebody, slandering him, it reminds me of Stephen James making that same amount of videos about me. For 2 years straight, this Gene Rebel guy came out and started making videos slandering Jonathan Kleck, saying he's a false prophet and everything. Maybe so. I mean, if he's Satan, if he's Lucifer, then that would mean that he came down as if he's Christ, and then until he meets his match, then he has to submit. Until he meets it, He won't submit until he meets his match. But what that reminds me of is the same exact thing that happened to me from 2018 till around 2020, when for 2 years, all Stephen James Deshawn was doing was making videos slandering me, telling people that I'm a liar and a CIA agent and just everything imaginable. False prophet, beast from the pit. I mean, I don't think that's really a lie, because I do believe I'm in the pit. And like Joseph, he was thrown into the pit. And all of his brothers, the apostles, they didn't like him. They didn't like him because he had a dream saying that you're all going to basically bow down to me. Mother, father, brothers, the sun, the moon, and the stars. It's not that he was full of himself. It's just God was showing him. And he's like, look, if you don't like it, in the end, Lucifer is going to tell you, pay up. What if Lucifer's in prison in the bottomless pit and I found him? And then I met him at the art museum. And for 8 songs of surrender, a random shuffle, vertigo, 3:30 p.m., 3/23/2023, a half hour of X-App in it between the time I started, paused a few times, and ended. It was exactly a half hour. The only way I can get my brother Billy to watch a half hour of that footage is to pay him to shut up and watch it. I can't get him to shut up. I'll show him some things and yeah, but that's just shut up. Watch it. Shut up. So I think that's how it works. I think I'm going to get everybody that doesn't get to see that footage because they haven't watched my videos, or they'll watch it for a minute and they'll be like, oh, whatever, and they don't want to give it a chance. At some point, I'm going to sit everybody down, and you're going to just sit there and shut up with duct tape on your mouth if you don't shut up. And I'm going to pay you. But first, you have to shut up. I'm going to pay you to shut your face, sit there, and watch something for a half hour. And then that's it. I'm not even going to ask you a question. I'm not even going to say anything to you. I'm just going to leave. But I just want people to see it, because that's what the top tier is seeing right now. I don't know about the agents. If your eyes, all the agents, but if you're like an apostle, you're going to see, if you're qualified to be an apostle in these days, because that's where we're actually at, you're going to be able to see what the similarities are. You're going to accept it and say, okay, that definitely is what Robin is showing. It is YouTube using his footage in an art museum that he recorded, moment to moment, frame by frame, second to second. Each shadow, shape, color, scheme, directional. It's all amazingly intertwined so perfectly, like the gang stalking corporation, how they can be there at any moment. Before you even look over, they're there. It's amazing, the timing of it. So that impeccable timing, the reason why I can't get mad at the gang stalk corporation when they're doing that to me is because I know Satan's just saying hello, and at the same time, without Satan making the music, I wouldn't be in this position right now of authority in the spirit realm before actual authority comes physically into my fingertips on planet Earth. I'm doing it through the heavens first. I'm doing it through spirit first, and I'm doing it through the X factor, where I would say the things that are going to sound so just insane to people, including family members that would be watching and listening in my videos. However, if you're part of the organization, well then, you know I'm not actually insane. You would just be saying that because it's insane that I even know. Because my entire life, you knew, but I didn't. That's how I would look at it. And again, I'm not going to hold it against anybody for lying to me, because I'm here to set you free from it. But you just have to bear with me. It's a process of years that I didn't think it was going to take this long, but I didn't even know what was supposed to take anything. I didn't even know what the hell I was doing in the beginning. I was a toddler. I was dropped off. It's no different than being birthed and just like, here, fend for yourself. I go into the art museum. First thing I see is Isaac, Julian, and Bo Barty. So I come in there with Juliana, and my dog's name is Bo. I came in with a Bo. My very first video was with Bowie. I'm riding a white horse now, but I started with a black sheep. Riding in on an actual white horse, I think I said it before, but I'm not certain. Isn't that riding in on the Antichrist? Like the white horse. The white horse has a bow. He comes forth conquering. I mean, maybe that's who I'm considered, the Antichrist. Because I come against the Christ in the system, and then in the end he shows me that I can't do it better than God. But whatever my title is, I don't care what it is. It just, what are my works? Look at the works that's happening here. When I do it repetitively, it sinks in just the same way it sinks in with my own mind. As I put things together and I rewatch it, you know, there's a lot of stuff I didn't even get to watch, but all of you did. Because as I'm doing the video, I can't fully sit back and watch it all unfold because I'm producing it. There's so many videos I would love to just sit there and watch them all. I would love to just have the time for it to be freed up. It's coming, but it hasn't happened yet, and it can't come soon enough. Not like sitting in jail time. I'm talking about like being free. I'm talking about the time that Jonathan Clegg has. I want that time. I want to be just like on my own island, being able to produce for the next 3.5 years if I had to. I would, I would produce all the stuff. I would have time to just sit back and just rewatch it and not have to work for a living, and then communicate directly with people and do actual live shows, and not like the way it was before. There's no script either with anybody, but not until I'm fully myself. where it's completely recognized, the entire thing is over, and now it's just me going over the things that have happened, and I'm not being attacked by anybody. That kind of show, where everything's out in the open, the truth is there. People like Derek Bros comes on and hangs out. I talk about the art museum footage, the time travel, and he would agree, and he would explain how that's possible. And like that kind of communication, that kind of show. More serious, really, because this is serious business. These are the windows of heaven opened up right now. Come join the show. So, if my windows keep getting broken, and the idea is to ramp up my insurance as much as possible to make claims, then also if I even have the YouTube channel, they may do that and cut my channel off, and I won't even be able to do anything. And then it just my life gets worse and worse and worse. That's the foreseeable future vision nightmare that I haven't ruled out as to being a possibility of happening because of what I've been doing and saying and revealing on YouTube, because the program is for Satan's minions to come against me like that. The end result is he comes against you for doing it. So I'm putting you between a rock and a hard place. You're going to follow through with what you're told to do, but you're going to be punished by the one that told you to do it. Or not told you to do it, but influenced you to do it. So if that happens, I'll just ask for donations for people that are understanding, and you know that I'm going to be put in charge. So the only ones that will do it will be the ones that believe in me. So that's why I would do it. And to be able to do that, then I would also manifest God showing how that works. Let's say I'm such a target for what I've revealed after 6 years of going to that high mountain, and then it's just a knockout blow for Satan, and he does not like it. The spirit doesn't like it. Not Lucifer himself. Lucifer himself is a changed man. But so the people that believe in me will be the ones that donate, because they already know that you may even already know my future, and you already know that I had already planned this out for that. When that happens, that this is how it would happen. I would just receive the donations. I'll show you the video. Look, here they go. It's what I said would happen. Here it goes. When they burn my house down, here it goes. Look, there's my house. Anybody own any property in Philly? Would you like to let me stay in one of your apartments or something, knowing that I'm going to be put in charge of this whole system soon? So what comes around goes around. One hand washes the other. And I'll just keep doing it like that, where the more Satan attacks me, my plan is to make God manifest in front of your face. I don't think my channel's going anywhere unless I die. And even if I die, I'm not gonna disappear. I'll hop back on in my brand new body, my eternal body, and I'll keep doing videos if I have to say. So just know that, Satan, anything that you do for evil And anybody that's still disobedient and they're going to follow through with it. It could even be my own, my worst enemies will be in my own household. It could be my own father killing his son, like a Abraham and Isaac kind of a sacrifice. And then I'm like, Ollie, why hast thou forsaken me? Mother and father? Mother, Sarah, Abraham. Why hast thou gang-stalked me all my life? Ah, man, the imagination that I have, huh? Thinking I'm anybody that's gonna make a difference in this planet. As if I haven't already done it in spirit, behind the scenes. Earthquakes. Just shaking the ground. Flipping Bono upside down in room 100. Where it was the sixth song, where the sixth seal was opened up and I saw a great earthquake. And Bono's feet, his sidewall cracked underneath of him, and he lost his balance because of the earthquake. And then heaven was rolled up like a scroll after that because my video failed out and it went dark. There's one song U2 sings. Maybe it was the song Spinning Head, the woman. But a portion in it says, in other words, as soon as the baby started to think, it cried. And when I was growing up, 5, 6 years old, as soon as I started to think about my existence, I started to cry at the top of the steps. And my brother Billy's like, "What's wrong, Rob?" I'm like, nothing. Because I envisioned the world being black and dark and nothing. And I thought, what if I was never even born? Or what if nothing existed? And where did I even come from? And I'm like, man, that was depressing. So I'm just putting it out there now in this video, and I'll title it something about the future, so that way I can come back. I can come back in the future, play this video, the timestamp, and everybody knows that this isn't something I would do myself. This is just something that because people have said that before, like Andrea Knows would say, you're just going to manifest the things that you say out loud. Well, maybe so, but however, I'm just seeing what's coming. The strong possibility, likelihood of something happening like that would be Satan comes against me with full force, and the idea is to destroy any relationship that I have with any family member, and to destroy my career, my job, my life, where I live, what I drive, things like that. So when he starts to destroy my way of getting back and forth to work, all right, well then, at some point, maybe I just have to sit there like Job and just say, kill me already. But considering that I speak my mind too, and if you try to manipulate me, whatever, you're only playing yourself in the end. It's just the way that's going to be. Because I have the courage to speak whatever it is that's flowing through my mind at this exact moment, regardless of the consequences, because I know that at some point I'm going to be put in charge of this entire system by Satan. By Lucifer himself is going to do it. Is already doing it. Has already made it clear. And that's why a lot of people are stuck between him. It's stuck between me and a hard place. So I'll go back to this video and then I'll show the destruction that happened. Because it starts off subtle, like, you know, all of a sudden your water stops working. That's a target just for you, just simply for you. Sure, the guy down the street's water main broke, but yet you're the only house that was affected by his break. Right. What's next? The electric? The gas? I seen the vision of Jacob Israel. He likes showing that all the time. That poor kid, Thomas James, with his house burning on fire. And then at that moment is when he starts his ministry. When he thinks that all else has failed. When these things take place, I'm going to publicly put it out there. And then whoever is from God is gonna help me continue on with the ministry and free up my time. As Satan's trying to destroy my life, God's raising me up. Understand the new man, what God sees. Breaker, Robert Breaker. He's reminding me, Robin, I waited 8 days and you still haven't produced all those images that you got stacked up on your folders that I'm looking through. A lot of questions I have for you. You haven't, I mean, you've answered them, but not in a public scene. All right, fine. I'm going to go home and put it together. You're going to be the first on the list, even though there's so much stuff going on. And that's why I talk things out, because I don't have time to put it all together. I may just have to go through the screenshots that I got in my folders and just try to answer questions like that. I really like presenting things, putting it together. But Satan seems to be slowing up my internet situation too, no matter what camera I use, phone, iPad, computer. It just seems to be slow moving. So it's not as devastating when I show you the art museum footage and the words don't line up with the imagery. In anything that I show currently with a new video, because if there's a second delay, it throws it completely off. I had to sync that footage together. I had to sync it together. Make sure it lined up perfectly at the exact split second, or else it really wouldn't line up with anything. So Robert Breaker, Kim Jean, Paul Labout Tillier, Skip Heitzing, Jonathan Click, Derek Rose, Paul Begley, Jacob Israel, Stephen James Deshawn, even Nick Vanderlane has shown me some stuff. I haven't paid. He doesn't do a lot of videos, and I'm actually glad that Robert Breaker hasn't done many videos in the past 8 days, because there's so much stuff that I keep trying to get to. And Kim Jean reminds me of the Eleazar. He's like showing Rebecca who Isaac is, and then it had something to do even with Skip or Paul today talking about the water, standing by a stream, or standing by the well of water, and then Rebecca is the one that gives the water because he was thirsty, and gives the water to all of his camels, 10 of them, like 10 kings. So when I was standing by the water at 17 JFK on 7/8/2020 and 10/21 Camping's World 2020, the first time there was no water, and apparently I was thirsty in the desert, and then all of a sudden I'm standing there for the first time all year. The first sign of water that I seen, because remember, it was the pandemic, everything was shut down in Center City. It was great. I was so less gang stalked. After 1.5 minutes of me being there, the water sprouted up out of nowhere. It was enough to just, if I had 10 camels with me, it was enough to give them water to drink, for sure. And then in return, I gave bread to feed however many people were there. It's those stories that I look at my life and I say, wow, that's what I did. I mean, my name's Robin. It's not Isaac or Jacob or Abraham or Israel or anything. It's Robin Henry Tees. It's Henry is in the middle of Robin and Tees. You got a teaser and you got a robber. It's like two thieves on each side of the cross, in between, on each side of Henry. So Henry is in the middle, and you got a robber and a teaser on each side of Henry, right in the middle of the cross of the T's. Hate Tees, the land of the dead, where everybody hates Robin Henry Tees. That's okay. I've gotten over it. I don't care who hates me. I don't care. You talk about my personal life at work, where you'll say things about my wife or whatever, or the secret things hidden that I'm not supposed to know. The joke's on you in the end anyway. The last laugh. So for the people that are paying attention closely, and you watched day after day, and you're seeing this art museum footage, and you're starting to understand what I am understanding. You're seeing it nonstop. There's no denying it, that it's my footage in all those songs of YouTube from 30 plus years ago. There's no question of it, but you just don't know how it's possible. How is it possible? I don't know. It's not for me to decide. I just know that it is. It's true. It happened. They used my footage. I'm okay with you using my footage. I don't care. Except for the fact that I'm going back and forth working every day. That's the only part that bothers me. I also have to be patient and understand there's probably like a year-long walking with God from that moment, because now the windows of heaven are absolutely open. When I show you that it's time to get in the boat, I mean, you don't need to understand how it is possible. You don't let that thought deter you from believing that it is. Not that it's possible, it is. It's there, that they did it. It is done. They made it happen. YouTube made that happen. They took my footage from this year and put it in their videos 30 plus years ago. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Neither did going into room 100 and flipping Bono upside down, and Jonathan Clegg being saved on the day with Lou in the hotel with the tags of the clothes that he's wearing. Flip it upside down, turn it 100% no lying. That's right. So it may be a 365-day period. My wife may not get her birthday present until a year later. Does she even know? I can't imagine she does. However, if I'm the most interesting man in the world, and I have these twins, Denise and Jules, one on each side, even though I only see one, but it's like two, so be it. Even if anything is anything that I'm saying that if it might be, well then this is how I feel about it. So be it. Whatever. What am I going to find out next? My wife is a man? A transgender? A parthenogenesis, that she had her son by herself? Am I going to find that out next? What am I going to do about that? So be it. It is what it is. Did you get trapped in a man's body, so you changed over to female? Are you originally a feminine spirit? What does it matter what your body looks like and where your private parts are or are not? That's what Satan cares about. I can give a shit about it. It's about your soul. What kind of soul do you have? And when you're finally set free and you're able to tell the truth and speak the truth and know truth, that's what I'm after. I'm not worried about what's happening in between and how I'm the joke. I'm the brunt of all the jokes because of the secrets. What I'm telling you is, even if these are the secrets, this is how I feel about it. And what are you going to do? Send me to hell? What is this place? Sure, there's a pit. I mean, there's an underground world. But is it really underground, or is it right here on this ground here, just in secret, behind the scenes underground? Eternal punishment, to me, means you're going to be on this earth till the day you die. And then you're going to repeat and do it all over again. And then you're going to die. And then you're going to repeat and suffer in this flesh again and then die. That's eternal punishment. Because you're always going to suffer. Being set free is when you die this time around, you're going home. Back to where God created your soul without the influence of Satan. So I believe that's what my job is here on earth. It's just to talk until I'm out of breath. Like right now, my side hurts because of the injury that I had from last year or so. And insurance is just, everything is going up. I don't have time for it. I really would love to have time to just get in better shape and do the works that God needs me to do to be freed up. And I'm working on it. And I have no proof that it's going to happen, but I know it will. And that's the best part about it. I get to talk about these things beforehand, knowing that they're going to happen with absolute zero evidence that it will, except for those chosen few that just really like to let me know things about the Bible and where I'm at and who I'm coming across and what stories are very parallel to mine. And then, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to even believe it. That's why it's like, I don't know, what is this, a trap? You're trying to get me to think that I'm this person played out in the Bible because I came out of nowhere. But yet my story keeps lining up, and it's like, at some point I just gotta believe that these people have good intentions and they're actually angels from heaven showing me what my life is. But there's also demons, because I can see it in this world. I'm surrounded by them. Everywhere I go, any given person can be communicated to do whatever. I could be killed in a second if the devil wanted me dead right now. But it's more about spirit and fear. Can you face death and the fear of it and say, whatever? Then if so, then I've conquered death. Because I truly know that I'm not going to be stuck in the flesh again and again and again and again and again.